I don't want to get too specific because you're not into the job as yet, but what do you see as your objective as Secretary of Commerce?
My objective as Secretary of Commerce, if confirmed, would bring counsel to this administration and leadership to the Department of Commerce to influence the strengthening of our free marketing system in this country so that our economy as a whole will take off to the advantage of creating new jobs, increasing economic tempo, and of course along with this goes tax take, which would be very beneficial to the government.
Mr. Dent, I'm sure you're aware that we've had a serious balance of trade deficit last months at least. Is this, do you think, going to get worse or better, or how do you think you should tackle it?
I believe that the balance of payments problem and deficit will remain a major problem. Hopefully some of the actions which have been taken with respect to monetary imbalance will have a favorable influence. Certainly the President's effort to restrain inflation in this country is going to help. His very successful effort to re-stimulate the economy also is going to have a favorable effort, but I wouldn't say for the long term that it's going to be solved. It's going to be a long-term problem with us.
Senator Harkey, of course, questioned you on the question of multinational companies, which is something you're going to have to deal with, or at least think about. Do you have an opinion on that? Are we perhaps doing too much of that? Are we farming out too much of our stuff overseas?
I think that we need to examine the circumstances within this country which have encouraged companies to establish overseas branches. Maybe we haven't been competitive in our capital recovery procedures, and the investment tax credit. Is it adequate? All of these conditions have led to these decisions, and we need as a nation to re-examine our whole economic structure. Something has caused this to occur. Companies to go overseas. So I think that they should not be blamed. We as a nation should share in it and find out what the causes are.
Could I ask, would you oppose the Harkey bill?
Fortunately, one in the cabinet is not free to vote on this legislation, but I think it's safe to say that Senator Harkey and I had a very frank discussion of this, and I don't believe that he was wholly satisfied with all of the answers he got.
Okay, thanks very much. I might tell you, Senator Magnuson,